What is up, hockey fans? It's the Hockey Radar, tracking drafts and prospects. In today's video, I wanted to look into a couple of the NHL's top affiliated prospects, starting with some Calder frontrunners, some dark horse picks, and a few players who could make the jump at the end of the 2025-2026 season. For today's video, we are looking at players drafted before the 2025 draft because players like Matthew Schaefer, Michael Misa, and even Gavin McKenna will need a video of their own. Starting things off, we're going to go to DC and talk about Ryan Leonard of the Washington Capitals. Ryan Leonard has had an amazing start to his career. He'd just come off 49 points in 37 games played with Boston College, finishing as a Hobey Baker finalist. He is a two-time gold medalist at the World Junior Championships as well as the MVP at last year's World Juniors. He is a hard-working power forward who can also put the puck in the net, as he scored 30 goals in just 37 games played last year, and he was able to drive the play on the top lines of Team USA at the World Juniors as well as Boston College. He then got into 9 games with the Washington Capitals at the end of the season where he put up 1 goal, as well as 8 games in their playoff run where he was able to put up 1 assist. Admittedly, some underwhelming production from a guy like Ryan Leonard. However, when you look at the situation that the Capitals were in, they were trying to go deep in a playoff run and they weren't able to commit a lot of ice time to a rookie. Now with the experience under his belt, Leonard can take what he's learned and have a strong rookie campaign. With Andrew Mangiapane moving on, there's a hole on the second line as well as the second power play unit that Ryan Leonard can hopefully fill all season long. I think the Capitals can have huge success by putting Leonard on a line with the likes of Pierre-Luc Dubois and Tom Wilson. And if the Capitals ever move back to 4 forwards on the first power play, maybe Ryan Leonard can find a few extra minutes on that top unit. The Capitals will win a lot of games and score a lot of goals this season, and I think Ryan Leonard can have his fair share of production. My projection for him this year would be 25 goals, 35 assists for 60 points. Going for pick number 2 of our Calder frontrunners, we're going to go over to the Central Division and talk about Zeev Buium of the Minnesota Wild. Similar to Ryan Leonard, Zeev Buium has a monster resume already in his career. He's a Hobey Baker finalist with 48 points in 41 games played this last season. He's a 2-time gold medalist at the World Junior Championships, and he is a Frozen Four winner. He is a very smart two-way puck-moving defenseman and has amazing vision in the offensive zone. I think Buium has an amazing opportunity to have a very productive rookie season. If he can be paired up with Jared Spurgeon for the majority of the season, who is very smart in his own zone, this can allow Buium to have more offensive freedom and take a few more risks because he knows Spurgeon can cover him on defense. In addition to that, I think Buium has all the opportunity in the world to eventually become Minnesota's quarterback on their first power play unit at some point in the season. Although Brock Faber is a very solid option, I think switching them out on the first power play unit will not only allow Buium to achieve his full offensive potential, but also it will allow Brock Faber to have more minutes 5-on-5, which is where he's one of the best in the league. With talents like Kaprizov, Boldy, Zuccarello, and Eriksson Ek on the first power play unit, my projection for Zeev Buium for this upcoming season will be 10 goals, 40 assists for 50 points. And last but not least, we have to go up north and talk about the consensus pick for the Calder, Ivan Demidov of the Montreal Canadiens. Taken 5th overall at last year's draft, a lot of people, myself included, saw Demidov as being the second best talent of the draft, and fresh off of 49 points in 65 games played with St. Petersburg in the KHL, this is becoming a very big possibility. Demidov has an amazing set of hands, an incredible hockey IQ, and an exceptional offensive ability, and we saw glimpses of this in the small sample size of last season, where he put up 1 goal and 1 assist in 2 games played in the regular season, as well as 2 assists in 5 playoff games. I think Demidov slots in perfectly on that second line behind Slavkovsky, Suzuki, and Cole Caulfield, and I think he has an incredible opportunity to put up a ton of points with potential line mates of Patrick Laine, Kirby Dach, maybe even Zach Bolduc. He also has a strong case to be on that first power play unit, which has the potential to be one of the best power plays in the league with all the talent mentioned earlier, as well as the reigning Calder Trophy winner, Lane Hutson, as quarterback. If all goes well for Demidov, I could see similar production to what Matvei Michkov did in Philadelphia, where he put up 63 points this last season, and I think Demidov can have 32 goals, 35 assists for 67 points and make a strong case for the Calder Trophy. Moving on to some dark horse picks who has the potential to challenge for the Calder, I'm going to go with Alexander Nikishin of the Carolina Hurricanes, a big 6'4", 220-pound defenseman who was also able to produce offensively, as in the last 3 seasons in the KHL, he put up 55, 56, and 46 points. Unfortunately for Nikishin, the Calder Trophy has become more of a points-based award, and with guys like Shane Gostisbehere and Keandre Miller most likely getting the offensive chances in Carolina, I just don't know if Nikishin will have as much offensive freedom as, say, a Zeev Buium will. However, maybe Nikishin can squeak onto that second power play unit, put up a respectable 35 to 40 point rookie season, and collect some Calder votes. Another dark horse who could potentially challenge for the Calder, we're going to go with the reigning Hobey Baker winner, who put up 26 goals, 26 assists for 52 points in 37 games played with Michigan State this past season, Isaac Howard. A smaller forward who has a great offensive mind and is a very hard worker will have a ton of looks on the top 6 of the Edmonton Oilers, playing with 2 of the best players in the world in Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl, as well as some potential power play 2 minutes. I fully expect Isaac Howard to get roughly 45 to 50 points and maybe finishing top 5 in Calder voting. Pick number 3 for Dark Horse Calder candidates, we're going to go with the 9th overall pick from last year's draft, Zayne Parekh of the Saginaw Spirit. Parekh put up an astounding 96 points in his draft year and followed it up with 107 points this past season, scoring 33 goals apiece, and he topped off his year by getting a call-up to the Calgary Flames where he put up 1 goal in his only game played. Unfortunately for Parekh's case, as a right-shot defenseman, he's going to find himself slotting in behind Mackenzie Weegar and Rasmus Andersson on that 3rd pairing, but because of his offensive ability as well as his shot from the point, I fully expect him to get a ton of looks on the Flames power play. With all due respect to Andersson and Weegar, I just think that Parekh has a higher offensive ceiling, and I think if he can stay with the team all season long and take over that power play, I think he can put up a ton of points on a team that will be in the hunt for the playoffs. One last quick dark horse candidate, I wanted to throw a goalie in there, so we're going to go down to California and San Jose, and we're going to go with Yaroslav Askarov. Askarov put up very impressive numbers in the AHL, posting a .923 save percentage as well as a 2.45 goals against average, and he did put up respectable numbers in the big leagues with the Sharks when you consider their rough-looking decor. Now going into what looks like his first full season, he looks like he's going to be the number 1 in San Jose, and for a team who's looking to get better and shooting for 35 to 40 wins, Askarov could start his career off with a nice 25 to 30 win season. Before we wrap up, I wanted to go with a few players who could join their teams after their college seasons. I'm going to go with the former 4th overall pick, Cayden Lindstrom. After starting off his draft year with 46 points in 32 games played, he would suffer a back injury that would take him out for the rest of the season. He would still go 4th overall to Columbus, but that back injury would remain throughout this past year, and he only appeared in 4 playoff games for Medicine Hat, where he put up 4 points. Now taking his talents to Michigan State, this dynamic power forward and sniper joins the likes of Riker Lee, Charlie Stramel, and Trey Augustine on a great program in Michigan State, where they hope to challenge for a national championship. As long as he can stay healthy, I think Cayden Lindstrom can be an amazing college player. Especially with Isaac Howard moving on and signing with Edmonton, Cayden Lindstrom can take the reins of this offense and put up a ton of points. And seeing as most former 4th overall picks make their debut 1 or 2 years after being drafted, I think if he can have a strong season and get his development back on track, maybe he can join Columbus late in the season and potentially help them with a playoff push. And one more college player I wanted to touch on, we're going to go with the former 43rd overall pick in 2024 and already looking like one of the biggest steals of the draft, Cole Hutson. He is an amazing smooth skating, offensive puck-moving defenseman, and although he stands at 5'10", he still has a huge impact on the game. He is coming off 48 points in 39 games as a freshman with Boston University, and I could very well see him cracking 50 points in his sophomore year. He was also one of Team USA's best players at the World Junior Championships, where he put up 11 points in 7 games played, and was one of the best players on the ice in that game against Canada. I could see Cole having a very similar path to his brother Lane Hutson, who was also a 2nd round pick and spent 2 years in college before making his debut with Montreal at the end of his 2nd year. Cole is now entering his 2nd year of college, where he is primed for an amazing year, another amazing World Junior performance, and potentially joining the Capitals at the end of the season. Washington has done an amazing job remaining competitive but also building towards the future, as Cole Hutson joins an impressive prospect pool of Ryan Leonard, Andrew Crystal, Ilya Protas, Tarek Paraskak, and Leonard Lakovic. There are so many more players who could be in this video that I didn't have time for today. Who knows, maybe I'll have to do a part 2 to this video. But for now guys, that's all the content I have for you today. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe button, make sure to go follow my Spotify and my Instagram, and make sure to keep an eye out for more content to follow.